Hey Garden Maters, welcome to Corner Homestead and welcome to another episode of Cooking from History. It's been a long time since I've done an episode on this series, so I thought I would get back into it today because I have found a recipe in one of the older cookbooks that I acquired from my neighbor, and it's the Rumford Complete Cookbook. This cookbook was published in 1943, and it does have a lot of recipes. As you can see, I've already got pages marked for things that I want to be doing, hopefully if I get the time. But today I'm going to do a recipe in here. It is just called the Standard Rumford Muffin, but there's different variations to it in here, and one was extremely intriguing. So I am setting up to make these muffins, and I hope by the time I am finished, you'll want to make them too. So let's get everything together, get it all mixed up, and get it into the oven, because I'm looking forward to tasting these. Okay, so for the recipe, you don't need a whole lot of ingredients. Simply need some flour, a little bit of salt, baking powder, which of course, it's a Rumford cookbook, so they suggest Rumford. I don't have Rumford, but I do have baking powder. Just a little bit of sugar that I will not be using today, and I'll tell you why in a minute. You're going to need 1 egg, a cup of milk, and a little bit of shortening, which I'm just going to use margarine. So that is the Standard Rumford Muffin mix that they talk about. Now the different variations, you can do a cereal type, a fruit muffin, and the one that has truly captured my interest is the ham or bacon muffin. So to follow that recipe, you do the standard muffin mix. You omit the sugar, so don't add the little bit of sugar that they want, and you add a half a cup of diced ham or bacon. Probably going to put in a little extra instead of just a half a cup, but I am going to make mine ham and cheese. And I think in the end, at least I hope so, that they're going to be really, really good. So I'm going to have all of the information in the recipe at the end of the video. But I hope you stay with me. Let's get this mixed up and get it baked, because I am so eager to give you my opinion on these muffins. Okay, so into our bowl I have my sifter, my little sieve. They do call for 2 cups of sifted flour. Okay, the next ingredient is a half a teaspoon of salt, 3 teaspoons of Rumford baking powder. Now again, I don't have Rumford, but I have Ginger Evans. She's just going to have to do. Now this is where you would add, of course, the 3 tablespoons of sugar, but because I'm doing the ham version, I'm not going to add the sugar because it says to omit the sugar. 1 egg, just going to put it on in it. 1 cup of milk. And now they want 3 tablespoons of melted shortening. I was going to use margarine. Didn't have it up here, so I've just got 3 tablespoons of melted butter. I gotta say, it looks like really good muffin mix. Okay, now for the variation version that I am doing, calls for 1/2 cup of diced cooked ham. So I just have some diced and on a plate. I'm sure it is a lot more than 1/2 cup. I'm not going to measure all this. I'm just going to add it in because I think 1 cup is going to make it taste better. So I'm just going to add some cheese to it. Again, I'm not going to measure. It doesn't say to add cheese. I just think it's going to taste better, but I'm going to put at least a cup of cheese in it as well. And again, I'm using triple cheddar. And there we have our muffin mix. Okay, so a long time ago, and I do mean a long time ago, I threw away all of my muffin tins. And I bought one very large muffin tin from a mail order catalog. Couldn't even tell you where I got it from. But this is it. It holds 2 dozen of muffins. The recipe says that this is only good for 1 dozen. So I'm only going to use half of this. But even though this is very well non-stick, I'm going to go ahead and give it a little spray with cooking spray, just to be safe. Turn into well-greased muffin pans and bake in hot oven, 400 to 425 degrees. What? That seems awfully high. For 20 to 25 minutes. I hope they don't burn. I'll do 400, but I'm going to keep an eye on them. Okay, so it did make 12 sparingly. So into a 400 degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes. But I am going to keep an eye on these for sure. They are baked absolutely perfect. They really are. So the question is, how is it going to taste? It smells really good. You can definitely smell the ham and the cheese both. If you look at the inside, you can see the bits of ham. I am so looking forward to this. Oh my goodness. Oh, really good. It is really, really good. Tastes kind of like a ham and cheese sandwich, only better. I highly, highly recommend putting the cheese in if you're doing the ham version. And I didn't put any butter onto the muffin itself after I cut it open. This is strictly right from the pan. So I think if you add a little bit of butter on top, it tastes even better. But what's going to taste even more better is I'm going to cook myself up a couple of fried eggs. Dip them in the yolk of the egg. Oh my goodness, it's going to be so good. It's going to be really good. Okay, so I don't know how it would taste, the standard muffin mix plain. I think it would actually be a little bit too plain. These muffins with the ham, even though I did not put the sugar in, I think it could have called for just a little bit. So I don't know why they tell you to omit it. I can understand if you're using the bacon, because bacon is very salty. But if you're doing the ham version, I think you could possibly get away with putting the sugar in as well. But I'm telling you, these are really, really good. So I hope you give them a try in any way of the variations that you choose to do. I really hope you give it a try, because I'm telling you, 1943 knew their stuff. So thanks for being with me. As always, it's a pleasure. So if you haven't already subscribed, please do. Love to have you as part of the community. Love to watch the Garden Maters grow. So until next time, I love y'all. Take care. God bless. And I'll see you on the next video.